So storytelling for me came a way of responding to situations around me when I was 13 years old, having witnessed my two aunts get abused by their husbands. And I was so upset. And so I wrote a letter and I gave it to my mom, and she read it and she came back to me and she said, it has elements of poetry. And I said, what is poetry? And she gave me a letter that she had written to my dad, which was in the form of a poem. And I read it and I said, oh, this is it. She said, yes. And she said, let us make a video out of this. And I said, I'm shy, I cannot. So she let me be. And when I turned 16, she came back and she said, please, let's make a video out of this. So we shot the video. My mom put it up, it was on YouTube and it hit 3 million views. And we got a message from someone in our hometown, Biu, because I'm from Biu, Borno State, where he said because of my video, he stopped hitting his wife. And I said, oh, wow, something that can change someone's mindset. Then this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. And, you know, that's how it started, with my mother's encouragement and she being my light. And so when she passed away, I realized that because of that gap, that the women did not even have a voice, that oftentimes they were silenced. And so I said, okay, how do I continue the work that my mother started? And so we started Through My Voice, which is an initiative where we build the digital advocacy capacity of young storytellers. We have a growing community of over 500,000 young Africans. What we're doing with that is we basically get them paid opportunities. We also train them and we also do workshops. So recently, in our attempt to expand, what we started to do was partner with organizations to curate campaigns and bring that home and also make sure that it is paid opportunity. But creative enterprise is really important because when you then see it from that lens, young people are able to step into leadership roles and then they're able to move away from survival and then dignity is assured. So that is what we have been able to do with Through My Voice in collaboration with Gates Foundation. I think all my life I have witnessed pockets of violence where my life almost ended. And so I think for me, it's that naturally, what I want for myself is that peace, internal and in my environment. And so why not preach it when God has given you the voice and you're able to leverage it, you know, and God has given you the platform. And so I think that even in the state of my being in itself, the work in itself ties to who I am. For that reason, I think that this role in itself also reflects what Africa stands for. Peace is not foreign to Africa. And, you know, I hear you when you say that being the first ever UN Global Peace Advocate. But also, I take pride in being an African because peace is not foreign to Africa. The value of collectivism and holding each other like family, that we are one big family. We're interconnected. And so the Ubuntu philosophy recognizes that, and so I hold that with pride. I want to tell the youths that being overwhelmed doesn't mean that you're powerless. We have so many tools around us because one of the easiest things is for you to get rid of your own joy. But one of the greatest form of resistance is protecting your own joy as a young person. And we must understand that our power really lies in our voice. You should be an ambassador of dignity and peace in your community. So I'm going to say this in a simpler manner. Do not feel that you're powerless because you're overwhelmed. Your voice is heard. Leverage the tools around you. We have so many resources, and start with yourself because peace and whatever it is that you're doing has to begin with you. Thank you very much.